The Pitt is a brand new TV series brought to us from the world of HBO. What could be the greatest medical drama in television history just had its season 1 finale, and I'm here today to discuss why and how it became possibly the best that we have ever seen. A show that authentically captures so much of what real life is like for nurses and doctors to work a shift in the ER of a hospital, experiencing a very, very hard day filled with some of the worst circumstances, pulling apart the workers themselves, but also how they handle their own patients and their medical needs. To everyone watching, what is one moment in any episode of this show that made you realize how good they handled this subject matter? And do you also believe it is the best medical drama ever made? Let me know in the comments as we run through this video. Medical dramas have been a staple in the world of television since the film industry has been a thing. For the most part, you tend to see a lot of this genre in television as opposed to movies. The Pitt is the newest one on the block, and it comes from one of the main producers and creators of another pretty iconic medical drama called ER. This genre has certainly evolved throughout the years with the procedural nature of a show like House, a romantic drama series like Grey's Anatomy, a show centered on surrealism like Scrubs, or even the realism of something like ER, as I just mentioned. I made sure to research the aspects of those shows that made them what they are before making this video, because what The Pitt captures is something far more different and unique than any of those other different medical dramas have captured in the past. What The Pitt lacks, or I should say leans itself secondary to, is the soap opera nature of all the other shows that have found themselves committing itself to. Medical dramas like House, as an example, really tend to focus on the characters from the emotional aspect, but the medical stuff is not really always front and center. The Pitt takes that and flips it on its head completely. A show that takes everything it does very seriously and makes sure to keep it as authentic as possible to the actual medical side of its writing and storytelling. The authenticity of every single thing that is said within season 1 of The Pitt is something that really kept me watching, and I was unable to take my eyes off any moment between the doctors and their patients. A show that prioritizes not leaving the one and only location it is within to make things feel more condensed and focused. It doesn't distract itself with any other side plots, and it makes sure to really let you know that the focus is on these medical professionals as they deal with one of the most difficult and emotionally stressful days of their lives. Many real-life medical professionals have already reacted to the show, calling it the most realistic and accurate medical drama they have ever seen for those reasons alone. I've watched a couple of these people react to some of the episodes, and it really is a stark contrast when you look at just how much these people are happy to see that something like The Pitt is taking their actual real-life profession seriously and depicting it in a way that shows you just how hard it is to be someone working in this area of life. There is nothing I love more than watching someone do a job that you know nothing about, but also make it so entertaining at the same time. That is something that I absolutely have to give the show credit for, in that it lets you know right up front within the first couple of episodes that it is not going to sugarcoat showing just how crazy it is to be one of these people. A profession like this at this point, with how much this one season has shown me, might honestly be the hardest job in the world. I felt so much of that, again, through just how these characters spoke, the production design elements of just how accurate an actual ER would look like, and then just the insane tension that really does make it feel like you are there with them. And speaking of them, let's talk about those characters, because this is by far the main driving force for why I was as locked into the show as I was. The actors all brought their A game for this one. I mean, talk about having a monumental task of remembering all these insanely specific words and information to communicate through their dialogue. All these different medical words that they had to remember is something truly impressive that shows the level of dedication and care that they put within the season. I was thoroughly impressed by how these actors were able to carry out all these scenes, because they really are doing what they did. At least it seems like that's the case for the most part, because there is one scene where a full-on pregnancy happens, and I could legit not tell if it was real. Obviously, most of what they did in the show was done through the usage of practical effects and not actually operating on real people. But again, that doesn't take away from the fact that the actors were actively involved in making sure that everything looked real and authentic within the process of operating on these patients, but then also communicating all that dialogue simultaneously. Speaking to their actual characters, for the most part, I really liked every character that we were given. Everyone feels different and unique to their own personalities and how they like to go about being doctors and nurses. You've got your head physicians who will take their job very seriously, will joke around from time to time, but then also not be afraid to get in people's faces if they are not doing their job effectively or break the rules. You've got your med student characters who range from being cocky, nervous, composed and energetic, but then also find themselves making mistakes in the process. Within each of these characters is also a personal struggle that I really appreciate the show giving us the audience a chance to really explore through various scenes involved with them actually taking care of the patients. What one patient might experience is something deeply that connects with one of the doctors. It's a good way to humanize these people, but also make it relatable enough that you can connect with them, even if, say, not professionally with the work that they do. Finally, let's talk about why you should watch the show, because this leads into how I just ended off that last segment of the video with talking about wanting to see Noah Weil continue to play that character. Season 2 has already been confirmed, as well as the potential possibility of the show continuing for each new year subsequently after. The show's creator, R. Scott Gimel, has confirmed that Season 2 is coming in January of next year, focusing on a shift during the July 4th holiday. He also confirmed that each year after will have a new season, and that most of the main cast you saw in Season 1 will return as well. I think that is great news, and it deserves to keep going. A show that was probably made at a reasonable budget, works well for being a weekly release, and it does also work well as a streaming show, especially on as big of a streaming service like HBO Max. Now that the finale has come and gone, the numbers show just how popular it got. It averaged a staggering 10 million viewers per episode, which increased with each new episode that came out weekly. People really did tune into this show, and it's now become one of the more popular ones of the year so far in terms of the quality and how people are talking about its accurate depiction of the medical world. I cannot wait for Season 2 to come next year with most of the same cast and creators returning, and that is one of the big reasons why I am recommending everyone watch the show. You should watch it because these creators and actors really care about what they made and put a lot of effort and passion into it. And the other big reason you should watch it is because I think, personally speaking, it gives you a real and honest look on just how much you should give respect to these people. People who work day and night to save the lives of so many people while also dealing with so many of the stresses that come their way from some of these people who might give them shit because they might think that they know more than them or don't really understand the process of what it means to have their issues taken care of. The show definitely takes its time to add a level of commentary within it to show you certain examples of kinds of people where they don't take these professionals seriously as they should, and it makes it harder for them to do their jobs. I think it's a real aspect of life that, quite frankly, I know for a fact would piss a lot of people off on the internet nowadays, but I think it needs to be there, and I think people need to hear it. So many of the different conversations doctors and patients have, but also the stuff around how graphic things look is something that people should experience to know what it's like. I think just the inclusion alone with the final couple of episodes dealing with a mass shooter event that made the last hours of the day shift chaotic and stressful was something that I really appreciated them including. Again, this show takes everything seriously, and I do appreciate that it takes its time to do that, but also pays so much respect to these real-life professionals who can see their work personified in the best way possible. That alone should be a reason enough for you to watch the show, and that is why I personally believe this is probably the best medical drama ever made. And there you have it. That is my commentary and analysis of The Pitt on HBO Max. What do you all think of Season 1 and my analysis of it? What character are you looking forward to seeing again in Season 2 the most? Leave your comments down below, and please be respectful if you disagree with anything I said. Thank you all for stopping by my channel. If you want to see more moving forward from me with regards to film and television and you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe if you are new here and turn on that notification bell. I'm trying to build a community on here and your support would be appreciated. That's a wrap, folks. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you all soon for the next video.